A gentle night. The air was thick with the scent of lavender, and a soft breeze wove through the trees, rustling their leaves like a whispered lullaby. The last golden light of the sun stretched across the rolling hills before melting into the quiet embrace of twilight. A narrow path, lined with wildflowers and dewdrop-kissed grass, led down to a small, hidden lakier place where time seemed to slow and the world felt lighter, softer. Nestled on the shore stood a cottage with warm, honey-coloured walls and a thatched roof that carried the scent of wood smoke and rain. The windows glowed with the gentle flicker of candlelight, casting long, slow-moving shadows across the wooden porch. Inside, Eleanor moved with practised ease, placing a kettle over the fire, the scent of chamomile and vanilla curling into the air like a quiet promise of comfort. She had lived here for years, surrounded by the hush of nature, the lull of the lake, and the company of the stars. She knew each season by the way the wind whispered through the reeds, by the rhythm of raindrops against her window, and by the soft hum of the earth as it exhaled beneath her feet. Tonight, as dusk settled, she felt an old, familiar peace wash over her, as if the universe itself had drawn a warm blanket around her shoulders. The kettle whistled, and Eleanor poured the steaming tea into a clay cup, her fingers absorbing its gentle warmth. She stepped outside onto the porch where the lake stretched before her, still and silver under the rising moon. The sky was a deep shade of navy, sprinkled with stars that pulsed like distant heartbeats. Somewhere in the distance, an owl called out, its voice melting into the symphony of night. As she sipped her tea, Eleanor closed her eyes and listened to the wind, to the water, to the soft sigh of the trees. She imagined the world breathing in unison, each sound a gentle reminder that she was exactly where she was meant to be. She thought of the many nights she had spent here, wrapped in the arms of solitude, and how, over time, it had become less of a loneliness and more of a gentle companionship with the world itself. A small lantern hung beside her, its golden glow flickering with the breeze. She reached out, steadying it with a touch, as if holding a tiny star in her palm. The night had a way of revealing quiet magic in the simplest things, the way the lake mirrored the moon, the way the air carried the scent of damp earth and pine, the way the universe felt so vast and yet so intimately close. Somewhere across the lake, a ripple disturbed the water's surface, sending gentle rings outward as if time itself was stretching and settling into stillness. Eleanor exhaled, her breath dissolving into the cool night air. A familiar sleepiness settled over her, not just in her body, but in her mind, a soft and welcome invitation to rest. She finished the last sip of her tea, set the cup down, and stepped inside, closing the door with a soft click. The room was warm, filled with the scent of burning wood and the quiet crackle of embers. She curled into her bed, pulling the blankets around her, letting the softness sink into her bones. The sounds of the night hummed outside a lullaby written in rustling leaves and distant waves. And as Eleanor closed her eyes, the world outside slowed, the stars blinked in a knowing rhythm, and sleep, gentle and deep, carried her into the quiet embrace of dreams.